Hello besties! It is Becky here with Bestie Becky's Crafts, and I have a cute little book tutorial to share with you today. This is an accordion fold flip book mini album. I guess that's what we'll call it because it includes all of those things. And it is so sweet. It is such a cute little size. It measures, let me grab my ruler real quick. It measures about 4 inches wide by 5 inches tall. So it's just a cute little size. So here it is. And I made a belly band to put around it. You can see, just a simple belly band. Nothing fancy there, except just punched out some flowers and added some flowers and some bling, and then added a bow here to this little flap. That's how I decided to decorate the outside. So let's zoom out a little bit here and take our belly band off, and then we're gonna open it. And so first of all, like I said, it opens like an accordion. So ta-dum, there's our accordion opening, and it does have 2 sides to it. So over here, this was the front, remember, with the bow, and I put just a couple little half pieces of Velcro here, and I made this into a pocket. And I just put tape on both sides of there and punched a half circle, I would say a quarter circle, half a circle there, and then I just put some cards in from the paper pack, which it happened to be a Paris theme paper pack. So there's that front pocket, and then here's a flip. So flips down, and you see that? It has another little card from the paper pack, same as this is card from the paper pack. And then I made a couple of clips. I added another flap here, which was really easy. I just figured out what size I wanted it to be, added a 1/2 inch, scored it on that 1/2 inch, and glued it in. And it is glued down here, and then this piece right here goes over top of it, covers all that mess right there, and helps to hold it in place. So let's go back here. So on my flap, I made this pocket, and I just, glued around the bottom there to stick my clips in. And of course this is a perfume bottle, and this is a little purse. Isn't that cute? And then we open this flip, and I put a scallop circle down here with a heart on it, which you can see, but I only glued like the bottom edge so that this top edge is open, and I made some tags to stick in there. See, come in and out like that. And then here's a little flap I just decorated, and you flip it up, and there's nothing exciting on that one because it's a map of Paris. So, I didn't think it needed anything else. And then I made a little envelope here, put a gold bow on it, and it closes with Velcro. And then I cut out some cute little gold doilies to put in the pocket. You could put anything in that pocket. And so I close it up like so. Alright, and then my last little pocket here in the front is similar to this one, except it's not a pocket, it's a flip. It's a flip with a pocket. I did a half a page, I don't know, corner pocket, put a couple of journal cards in there, And then this middle section, I just put a band down the middle and put in some cards and made a tag. You see it goes in there like that, and it flips back up and then flips closed there with that Velcro. And then if we turn it over to the back side here, this is the very back cover, and this is of course the middle, and I just made a pocket and decorated it, put a card in it. And then this one I did a band again and some cards, but I put a scallop down here on the bottom, folded it in half, and glued the one half to the back of this mat, this pink mat here, and then the other half I just glued right along the bottom, and that way my cards don't slide out of the bottom there. So there's that, and it's just an accordion fold flip mini album. And so to fold it, this is that back page. I gotta make sure I'm doing it right. It goes like this and this, and there we go. And then we put our belly band back on. So it looks complex. I know. You think, oh, it's too hard, but it's super simple, and it's a lot of fun because you have a lot of choices on how you decorate it and how you make your flips and if you make pockets and all that. So if you like something that kind of will give you a little bit of that freedom, then this is for you. So with that, let me make sure I'm out enough so you can see my scoring. You need a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I'm using white, and hopefully you can see enough. But I'm also going to try and use my Sharpie to see if that helps show the lines, and then maybe that'll give you a better idea of how this all goes together. So 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, any color you want, and we're going to score at 2 3/8 and 7 1/4. Okay. I wonder if I can use my 2 3/8. Oh yeah, that works. And 7 1/4. Except I don't want to mark on my board. Alright, so there's 7 1/4. Okay. So you have, of course, a short side and a long side. We're going to put the short side, that 2 3/8 section, up at the top of our board. And we are going to score at, find my little thing here, at 3 7/8. So it's just that little mark before 4. And 4 1/8. So that little mark right after 4. And at 8 inches. And at 8 1/4. Okay? Let me get my Sharpie out here and go over those again. So that was 3 7/8. And 4 1/8. And 8 inches. And 8 1/4. And I know you're going, oh my gosh, that looks so confusing. It's not. Alright, so I'm going to write up here, top and bottom. And I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to write top up here and bottom. Now you won't have to do this, the top and bottom, because you'll figure it out, because your top side is the shorter side and your bottom side is the bigger side. But isn't that a lot of times how it is, right? Your bottom's big, and anyway, okay, so next thing we do is we have our 1/4" lines right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold and score, or fold and score, fold, and then of course, you know, crease with your bone folder. Okay, and we're going to do that on all of our score lines. And it gets a little tricky here where you did that, you know, 1/4" because it's so small. So I just use my fingers and run along, squeeze it. Alright, and then we're going to do the other side. See, so far, it's pretty easy. It looks a little weird, I know, but it's pretty easy. Okay, so there, we have scored, we have folded, and we've burnished all of our edges. And now we need to do some cutting, and now you're scared, right? But what we need to cut out is really easy. We need to cut this out. We need to cut this piece out. We need to cut this piece out. And we need to cut this piece out. We leave these. Don't do anything with that. That's the center of our book. But these are the ones we cut out. So, just follow your score lines. You won't have Sharpie lines on yours like I do. Just follow those score lines. And then cut this out. And actually, you're like, well, this looks tricky. You want to get it straight across, and so it's kind of hard to do without folding one side and, you know, doing like that. Alright, so let's cut out the other side. You're like, this is really exciting. Yep, and I'm not cutting straight, but you know what? You guys will forgive me. Alright, now we turn around and we're going to cut these out. And one more and then I'm done, and then we can talk about all the fun stuff. Alright, so last cut. Alright, we're done cutting. You're like, now what do we do? The fun part. The fun part. Alright, so this is going to be page 1, page 2, and page 3. So, first page, what am I going to do? You can do whatever you want. You can just flip this up, flip this down, put a piece of Velcro, piece of magnet, whatever you like there, and be done. You can round the corners. You can use a different punch, do a decorative punch. You can cut this shorter if you want. You can cut this a little bit shorter if you want, like I did on mine. Here's my page, my first page. Like I did on mine, I cut this part shorter, and I even cut this a little bit shorter, and I did a decorative punch on my edge, and I matted, and this one I made into a pocket. I made sure I punched my half punch before I glued it down, but I matted inside, you know, matted what you're going to see, but really easy. So you have lots of options to do here. You could even, if you wanted, like I did on the second page, you could add an extra flip if you wanted. You could do that here too. You have lots of options on what you can do with this page, and that's what's fun about this album. Alright? So go with it, have fun. You could make it the pocket and then put your little note in there for your person. Or you could put an envelope here. I mean, there's just so many things that you could do to that first page. Okay? And then we come to our second page. And the second page, you could just make into a pocket. Or you could just make it into an open flip. Or, you know, you could put a pocket on here somewhere. You could put a flip page, an extra flip page, you know, like I did here. You know, I could have gone this way and made it a pocket like that. You know, I could have put this up and then put this a little bit different and folded it over. You know, there's just lots of options that you could do for this. So, I mean, you could put a belly band or a, you know, band on there and put stuff in there. You could make this a diagonal pocket, you know. I mean, there's just so much that you could do. You could even cut this off if you wanted to. You don't have to keep this, and you wouldn't have to keep this either if you didn't want to. There's just lots of options as to what you can do with this. Or, like I said, you can just keep it like it is and put Velcro there. Alright? And then, your third page. Again, just so many options, like I did. My top flap, here's my top flap. See, I just rounded the corners. I put a bow on it on this side, right? And then on this side, I just matted and decorated. Put a piece of Velcro here and here. You open it up, and there's my diagonal pocket on the bottom. And then I put a band here. I could put a band this way with a scallop here at the bottom so things don't fall out, or I wouldn't need to because they're not going to fall out because this is here. And, you know, I could have cut this off. I could have, you know, done more to this. Just kind of whatever you want, which makes it so much fun. So you close that up, and then you're like, okay, well, how does it get accordion fold? Okay, remember, this is our page 1. So we're going to want that on top. So you're going to keep it on top, and then just fold it like that. Did you get that? So we're going to keep it on top, and here's our bottom. So I'm just keeping hold of the bottom, picking up the top, and folding it over. Now, we didn't cut that 1/4 inch in between. We didn't cut this because that's what gives us that extra room to put our goodies in. So we want to make sure that we keep those there. And if you cut it apart, then your book would completely fall apart, and we don't want that to happen. So let's put it back together and let's do our accordion fold. Alright, so here's our front. Alright, so if we flip it over, this is going to be our back page. And this is where I did, you know, the handmade by and all that stuff. Right? And then you can open it, and this is your center, and then this is your page 1. So, you know, it just kind of depends on, you know, how you want to do things and decorate, you know. And you can decorate this one, and you can decorate the back of this one. You'll just want to leave your back cover pretty plain so your belly band fits. Alright, so That's it. Pretty easy, right? Flip it over, there's your back page, and there's your front page. Alright. And you could also, you know, if you wanted to, alright, so here's our back, right? Oop. Got my middle one. You could also flip these to the back. Well, not on that one. I wouldn't do it that one. I mean, you could, but you could also flip it to the back, you know, and do it to the back if you wanted. Nothing says you can't do that, okay? Just so you make it work for you. And you know what? That's it. That's all there is to this book. One piece of paper and just a few score lines, a little bit of cutting, and then you just let your imagination go. And you come up with this cute little book, right? And you can use scrap pieces of paper to cover it because these aren't very big squares. So that's nice about that too, is you can just use a 6x6 inch paper pad and use that and you're good to go. Alright, so one last point though. When you make your book, make your belly band last. The reason is because I got a little thick there. I don't know if you can see that. I got a little bit wider than my 1/4 of an inch on this side. And because I put the planner clips and stuff in there. So, where did my belly band go? So make your belly band last. Because you're going to cut your strip, which I just cut a 1-inch long strip out of this 1 inch by 12. And I wrapped it around and I made sure it was loose so that this would slide on and off, but yet keep my book closed. But I wanted to make sure that it was wide enough to hold all this. So if you make it too early, it's not going to fit. And the reason I know that is because guess who did that? I did. And I had to remake my belly band. Not a big deal, but I learned something. So, make your belly band last. If you didn't want to use a belly band, you know, if you wanted to tie a ribbon around it, you could tie a ribbon around it. If you had some elastic of some sort, you know, like those baby headbands or whatever, elastic, and you wanted to use that, you could use that. So, it's kind of up to you. So, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's craft. It was really super simple. I hope you give it a try. It's a lot of fun. The fun part is the decorating and deciding on, you know, where you want your pockets, where you want your flips, and how you want to do things. So don't be afraid to kind of step out of that comfort zone and give something like this a try. And just have some fun with it and play with it. And that's it for today. So thanks for stopping by. And if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Tap that bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. And I will see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.